Okay, everybody, you all right? This is Red Pill Phil, still here at the PAG HQ here in Rochdale. I've just come off the stream just because I wanted to have a separate interview with this lovely lady here. This lady's Gemma. She's part of the PAG team and she's got a very big story to tell that probably not a lot of people know about, although you have talked about it within your Facebook and whatnot. But this is a story, once Billy told me about it, I had to come up just to get this story out because it's absolutely shocking. And what you'll hear about what has happened since is even more shocking. But that's that. So I'd like to say hello, Gemma. How are you doing?
I'm alright, thanks.
What's it like working for PAG?
It's good, but it's hard. You know, you've got to have the emotional sort of, put a wall up, and it is hard because all the stuff that's going on is just
Heavy,
it's
isn't it?
rife. Yeah, it is. It's unbelievable.
What made you get involved with PAG?
Well, I've got two teenage daughters myself.
Mm-hmm.
My eldest, who's 17 next week, when she was 13, some of her friends were groomed, and my daughter was in the company of some of the groomers. She weren't groomed herself, thankfully. I got onto it straight away. The main groomer, you got sentenced to 8 years.
Yeah.
He's still inside.
Right.
But yeah, once that happened, I was more sort of checking her Facebook, checking her inboxes, checking all social media, checking her text messages, phone calls, find my iPhone, which is like a tracker you can track to where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Same for my youngest daughter. And through doing that, I think I've had 2 more convictions regarding like my daughters and re-offenders trying to message them and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
There was one from Lancashire last month, 42-year-old man, re-offender, mothering her on Snapchat. Hello, oi, you there? Oi, hello, just mothering her.
Yeah. She
came to me and said, right, this guy keeps mothering me basically. So I said, just leave it, don't reply. She said, no, I haven't done, I won't do. Anyway, I looked into him, to his name and what have you, and found that he was a re-offender. Took it to the police, and basically they passed it on to Lancashire, where he lives. Lancashire police phoned me up a couple of weeks after, said he hasn't actually committed a crime, so he's not been arrested. We've been to speak to him and warned him, but she's like she said to you, he's messaging your 13-year-old daughter, he's 42 and he's a re-offender. To me, that's enough.
Of course
He's done enough there. That's
It's like they're waiting for him to actually commit
to
the
do
crime
something,
before
to
they do.
rape or do whatever.
There's nothing preventative there whatsoever.
No.
They should go, right, well, if he's got a previous, we've got to at least talk to him, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So we've got to manoeuvre, we've got to get into that zone. But so you worked for PAG.
Mm-hmm.
You had an inquiry, I do believe, off one of your, was it your daughter's friends?
I spotted it, yeah. I spotted it on, I was just scrolling through my own Facebook and noticed one of my daughter's friends, who's 16, had put a status saying, I can't believe there's all these pedos on Facebook and Facebook won't do anything about it. So I private messaged her and just said, what's happened, why are they not doing anything, But apparently it didn't go against the community standards when she'd reported these images and comments she'd seen. So I said, can you send me the link to this profile that you've seen, and I'll see what I can do from my side, from the PAG side, see if there's anything we can do. Which she did. I had a look. The profile was a young boy on the profile picture in underwear, lying on his front, sort of posing, it like in a modelling type studio. There were 4 pictures on the profile, all 4 of the same boy, different positions, some on his hands and knees, some lying on his back. Danny's Dream Modelling was the caption at the top corner of every photo, and there were hundreds, probably between 500 and 800 comments on each photo, from men all over the world. Mostly saying, oh, beautiful, amazing. Some of them said, anybody want to swap child videos, inbox me. Some were a bit more in depth and a bit crude, what they wanted to do to him, you know, wish you were mine. Just all of them were, our emojis were love our eyes, everything, all the comments were irrelevant, every single one of them. The profile was only set up in November last year, and I looked on as many as I could. Like I said, there were hundreds and hundreds, but the worst comments that I saw, I looked on the person whose comments profile, looked on their friends list, and they had hundreds and hundreds of friends that were children, girls and boys, mainly boys, some as young as 4, 5 on the profile pictures, in rude like positions and half dressed, and and all these that I looked at as well, all the men that had commented on this had set up their profile in November 2018 as well.
Right, so that tells you something if they've all manoeuvred at the same time.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like an organisation that where one moves, they all follow.
Yeah.
Now, we've no idea why that is the case. They could do that as a tactic just to keep moving.
Yeah.
And then once the ringleader may go, right, well, this is a place where we find it a safe haven, they'll all come run and follow and carry on doing their activities. So once you discovered that, you were saying to me your search started widening, because once you got onto one avatar, it then discovered more and more and more. Did your daughter know anything about this? Literally, no. Right.
No.
Kept them all away from that, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So what was going through your mind at the time when you realised this was getting bigger and bigger?
First thing I thought was, hey, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with all this? You know, who do I go to? You know, you can't just brush it off and leave it. And then I went back to the girl who originally seen it, and I said, so you said you reported it to Facebook, just the one profile that she'd seen, and they said it didn't go against the community standards and never removed it. So I thought, maybe I'll try. The first thing I'm going to do is report, you know. Obviously, I screenshot some of the comments, the worst ones, the photos, everything I found, I sent them all. The next morning, we've reviewed it, doesn't go against our community standards. None of it.
What gets me there is that, okay, don't go against their community standards, that's a lovely little title, but then what you can categorically say is them images, the way they were being distributed was of a paedophilic nature. The people that were receiving it on the pretext it was a paedophilic nature, the reason why they're sending that. So what Facebook is saying from that is that does not encroach our guidelines, when they openly can see that this ain't just some mother who's put a photo up of a young boy. This is for sexual gratification of many people throughout the world, you could argue.
Yeah.
But
all different countries it were.
It does not go against the Facebook guidelines.
No.
But yet there's people that will get banned for just sharing the odd clip when it's actually true fact clip.
Yeah.
So that's what is so contradictory and what people will get through this. So you decided to go to the police.
Yeah, well, after Facebook didn't do anything about it, I thought, rather than ring or try and ring and try and get through and everything else, I went down to the police station on my own, with screenshots, with everything. And plus, like I said, I don't want the screenshots on my phone anyway, but you know, I needed to show him and give him the evidence. So I went in, spoke to the guy at the front desk, explained, sort of not in too much detail, but why I was there and could I speak to someone and what have you. He told me that no one was available and I had to go away and ring 101 and report it.
Did he know at that point the gravity of what you were talking about?
Yeah.
But you were told to go away and ring 101?
Yeah. He said I could do that from the front desk now, but it will take longer from here. If it's a member of the public, it'll be quicker for you to get a call through. I thought about doing that in the first place, like I said, but phoned it before. You could be waiting an hour, you could be waiting 2 hours. And plus it's sort of hard to explain in a phone call, you know, rather than...
Face to face?
Yeah, so I left there, went back to the car in the car park and sat in the car and phoned 101. Eventually got through. After explaining every profile, she wanted the names of every profile, comments. I must have been on the phone a good hour. She had to go and get advice from a boss or other colleagues because she weren't sure what to do with it. Yeah, like she said, it's not just in one, like in Rochdale or in wherever. Yeah, it's all over the world. She came back and said it's going to get passed to the National Crime Agency and give me a National Crime Agency code reference number. Said that they'll be in touch.
Didn't she say to you keep the images on your phone?
Yeah, I said that as well. I said regarding these images, obviously I don't want them on my phone, and she said please just keep them on your phone until they've been in touch and you know they can get the
I get that,
shots
but
off
you know the disturbing thing is there. You're actually breaking the law by having them on your phone.
I know.
And if any policeman's seen you in the street with them images, he don't have to listen to, oh well, you know, you're banked to rights. Now I know that from personal experience because of something that my daughter went through several months ago. She distributed a clip, I told you about it before, and it was seen by some of her friends, and she shouldn't have done it, and she'd done it totally innocently. But when I was called into the school to chat about it, I actually said to my daughter, what you have done, you have passed over information just like a paedophile would. So in a sense, that's paedophilic behaviour. One, to have that image, and two, to distribute it.
Yeah.
So that's when the police lady come up. And she's only a young girl, so she didn't know what she'd done. She thought, oh, she was just sharing a clip with her mate. Oh, look at this. But then the policewoman who was sat in this interview had actually turned around and said, I agree with your father, what you've actually done, even having that on your phone, you are just as guilty as a paedophile who has got the worst intent over that photo. So for that woman to say, literally, keep it on your phone, that should have been cleared straight away.
She was the only one to say it to me, because I had numerous phone calls, between 15 and 20 phone calls within about 10 days, of all different officers trying to arrange, you know, to get these clips. What, can I go there? They'll come to my house. They never turned up. They got called on an emergency. And every single one that I spoke to, I said, I don't like having these images on the phone. I don't want them on my phone. You know, you need to stop messing me about, basically, because the longer they mess about, the longer I've got them on my phone, the longer some other child could be being photographed or whatever. But every single one said, please just keep them on your phone until we get to you. Until
That's
we get
malpractice.
the screenshots.
That is malpractice. And then to think that they've still not done anything. Well, where are we at this moment in time, Gemma?
I managed to finally get an appointment. It ended up me going down to the police station. Sat with an officer, went through everything. Emailed them while he was sat there. He gave me the email address, sent all them through. And that was it, basically. We'll pass it on.
And when was this?
That was on the 12th of January.
Right, so that's nearly 2 weeks now, isn't it?
I've not heard nothing.
You've not heard nothing. Right.
No.
What do you think then so far of the way you've gone about your business and the way it seems to have been regarded at this point now? What do you think overall?
I think that it's going to have to be it's going to have to be in the National Crime Agency, because it's going to me, I think that there's some child model agency either disguising themselves as
an
a model
agency,
or
someone's on the inside.
Yeah, because
just
they're in a studio. You know.
Yeah.
The parents have probably no idea that their little boy, all of them are little boys, their photos are being.
Because you've just admitted as well that when within the comments section, not only are people enjoying these photos, but then that leads to the catalyst of, oh, I've got some videos here if you want it.
Yeah, if you want to share videos.
So it opens a door up, that one photo.
Yeah.
And that's what's sick about it. So have you ever tried looking at this agency to see if it does exist?
Well, I did try Googling you know, the name of it, but I couldn't find it.
Right.
So I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's definitely not right. Definitely
Yeah, something smells about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't know what nationality these kids are, where they're from, or what they're doing. You know, and like you say, their parents. And this is, if it is the case, child modelling agencies. It's something to think about, guys.
Definitely.
When we all think we've got beautiful children and we want them to have the best, and let's get folk. But I'm not saying every agency, but just by very nature, there's something very sinister that could be lay underneath. With all these photos that could be distributed to the wrong. It only takes one photo to get in one person's hands that it shouldn't be in. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And then boom, that can be distributed anywhere.
Another, all the ones that made the comments, when I looked on the profiles, they all seem to use the app BIGO. Now, I've never heard of the
Do you want to spell that?
BIGO.
Right, okay.
And I mean, I'm on, like I said, I check my daughter's all the social medias, Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Facebook, and this is one that I've never heard of. BIGO Live, it's called. They just all seem to have liked it or shared the app, you know, and I think it's a bit sort of like WhatsApp. You know, you can call and
like an
video
encrypted
chat
app,
type,
right?
Yeah.
And you can
The
send.
police had not heard of it either when I said it to them. So maybe that's one to watch out for.
Certainly.
As well.
Well, listen, guys, you can tell what this lady's just uncovered. You should be on the national news. This it should be, shouldn't it, Billy? This should be really shouted at from.
Public warnings going on every major news outlet there is.
There you go. There's Billy's interjection there while he's sorting out stuff for selling tomorrow. But it's right. It should be. It should be on every news. It should be coming round, knocking on your door now. What have you just done? And then getting the police a statement from them to say, right, you've had this information give to you. Can you just tell me where we're at with it, please? You know? Because it shouldn't now really be for you to ring them up and go, what's going on? You'd think that ball would have been rolling within a day or so of you giving that information and ringing you back to follow up, to confirm everything, and then to keep you in the loop on what's going on.
I think what it were, the delay as well, I don't think they knew what to do. I think they thought this is big, you know.
Yeah.
But they didn't know. Like,
If that is the case, then that shows you how much trouble all our kids are in. Because if something of this size and magnitude is going on and your own establishment haven't got the facility to cover it and don't know, even they're slightly intimidated by the case itself, what does that tell you? That tells you that kids in Rochdale and further afield are not being protected like we assume they are, you know?
So we know they are.
Well, yeah, exactly, mate. So, any final words, Gemma, on any of it?
I want to say as well, check your children's social media. Always check them. Don't just add them as a friend and then go and have a look on the profile. Log into their accounts. Log in, look at the private messages. Look who they've made recent friends. Are the friends suitable age? You know, I mean, my youngest is 13. Cut off age is 15, unless the family, you know, grandparents or whatever. Nobody older than that, you know, and as well, nobody who if you've spoken to them face to face, you've seen them in the flesh, you know them, then they can be your friends. Not just, Jenny down the road knows him or anything like that. Don't have them, you know.
Yeah, be more diligent.
Like yeah, definitely. And Find My iPhone's a good thing as well. You just need your child's Apple ID and you can log on your own phone and it tells you to the exact point where they are. Right. And not only for risks of that, it's if anything happens to him. Like my daughter says, you stalk me, you're a stalker. I said, yeah, but if something happens to you, you get run over, you get raped in an alley, anything happens to you, and you're there and you're unconscious, anything, I'll know where you are and I can come and get you.
There's two types of stalkers, one that does it for a positive outlook, and one who's just nefarious and who wants to exploit. Now, out of the two, we know which one that you were kind of trying to be there. You were trying to be the protective mother that is looking, and that, unfortunately, we all do switch off to that, because as our kids are growing up, they don't want to know the parents anymore, and you know, my business is my business. I do this, but this shows that you've got to somehow get involved.
Yeah, these days
you've got to consultate your kids. You've got to tell them of the dangers, because you know they'll keep a lot of this away from parents, won't they, as well?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Your daughters, have you
Yeah,
got two?
two, yeah.
They must be very proud of you.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, in order for you to be so diligent and so on it that you've even knocked the police for 6 here. You've done the work for the police, but even the police can't carry it on. What I recommend is that you carry it on yourself, because
Yeah.
you've got more chance of seeing it out to a conclusion rather than just passing it over to a crime number and then it's
Yeah.
just gone. You might as well just put it down the grid, all the information for the good they're doing. Who knows? They might get back to you. There might be work going on as we speak now. It's just a pity because from our position, they've not got back to you to say exactly what's going on. So we don't know.
No.
They could be, they might be doing nothing. There might be a desk in that NIR.
Yeah, yeah.
There might be a desk there that knows all about this and then going, oh, Jesus, someone's uncovered. Right, let's just swipe that to one side.
Yeah.
Because, we don't know. I can only surmise. We just hope that hopefully the information gets to a conclusion pretty much so we can save our kids, really.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank you, Gemma,
Yeah, you're
for all the
welcome.
work you're doing. Are you coming down next week to the,
Yes,
the
I
open
am.
day?
Yeah.
Are you bringing your daughters as well?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Hopefully fit me in the plans.
Oh, well, this is it. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
probably, if
Bring
any...
your friends.
Yeah, get them all in.
Yeah.
Oh, be brilliant. Well, thank you
Yeah.
very much for taking the time out to talk to me about this, and keep carrying on your brilliant work. Because you can
Legend,
see... She is, mate. She is. And this goes again to show the good work that PAG's doing. Without this, what would you have without this shop? What would you have?
I know.
You'd be back to square one. So, although it might seem that you're bashing your head against a brick wall, you're seriously not, because this is beautiful, very homed-in work that I'm loving what you're doing, and people are waking up and realising what you're doing. So, thank you, Gemma. This is Red Pill Phil. Like and subscribe. I love you all, even the pissing haters. See you now.